I'll be very quick. What a fantastic turnout for a Wednesday night. And this, alongside the demonstrations last week, I saw the pictures in Manchester on Facebook, I was on the demonstrations in London. It shows me how polarised things are becoming, actually. We've got a government who are determined to push through war and austerity and to drive through nasty racism, really, to justify it. But considerably, I think this show tonight and on these demonstrations, there's a section of people who refuse to allow racism to be pushed and refuse the lies that our rulers use to push war and austerity. It's clear that David Cameron, we're faced with the biggest movement of people since the Second World War. And David Cameron's answer, David's understanding of humanitarian intervention is to drop more bombs on Syria, to spend £3 billion with the EU on closing the border to Turkey, so when the bombs drop, the people will have nowhere to run and face certain death. When you're over in Calais, what you see there actually is really the spaghetti soup of Western interventions. People from Iraq, people from Afghanistan, people from Syria. You see people actually from Bahrain, which is interesting, isn't it? Because we're told that we have to go into countries to push our values. Actually, what happened in Bahrain, people stood up and said, we don't want to be ruled by these dictators anymore. Actually, they went there to push and fight for democracy. What were they met with? Absolute violence by their own rulers and absolute violence by our good friends the Saudis, actually, who murdered people. And did we hear David Cameron talking about intervention then? No, because they're a very good friend of them. So I have to say, we need to be the most vocal, I think, in saying that we want an end to all these military interventions, and we absolutely stand with Muslims and refugees. That means, as Naila started with, making Saturday really the biggest mobilisation. There was a disgusting attempt to discredit the Stop the War. I think that's a disgrace this week, personally, and I know why it's happening, because I think they know that David Cameron could easily be the next Tony Blair, a bloody pariah in this country, and that will come about if we can mobilise mass amounts of people. What is absolutely clear, that in this next window, over the next few months, people could freeze to death, because our government's answer is to close borders and to push more wars. We need to be absolutely against that, and we need to absolutely be completely in solidarity with the Muslim communities. You know, this crap that come out of David Cameron's mouth this week, what was it? You ain't no Muslim bruv. Cameron's not a Muslim. He's a warmonger like Tony Blair. Let's be clear about that. But to be honest, why does the guy recording that feel the need to say that? He feels the need to say that precisely because the likes of David Cameron and that vile rag, the Sun, are constantly trying to whip up Islamophobia and make Muslims synonymous with terrorism. And they have to take some responsibility, actually, for the 300% rise in Islamophobic attacks since Paris. It's an absolute disgrace. But I think crucially, in terms of what's ahead, I think Saturday is a fantastic opportunity, really, to show, as other speakers have said, really that 75% of this population, and probably growing, want to see an end to this war and don't accept that Muslims and refugees are somehow culpable for the fall of all our living standards. We need to make that as big as possible. And I also want to draw your attention, I know it's a bit away now, but March 19th, it's a bit away. I want to use the power of that war movement. Let's bring it in to making Stand Up to Racism on UN Anti-Racism Day, the biggest demonstration where we stand together saying refugees are welcome, no to war. Let's place the blame back on our rulers that push austerity and make our lives hell. And refugees welcome here. I'm going to stop there. Thank you.